And I ended up dating the girl, actually.
And you didn't tell me?
No, you knew of the girl. You might have forgotten of the girl. But we dated for a little while. It turned out to be the other way around. We went out on a couple dates.
Uh-huh.
She was not interested.
Uh-huh.
And then like 8 months later,
She changed your mind.
I reached out again because we didn't really whatever. And we didn't really hang out or get to know each other that well the first time. And I was like, hey, do you want to try this one more time? And she was like, sure. And then that second time we ended up kind of dating for a little bit. And then I ended things the second time. But the first time I initiated things.
Okay.
And now she's dating a woman.
Do you think it was because of her experience with you that made her date a woman?
Honestly, the woman looks a little bit like me.
Okay.
Not gonna lie. Like a lot. Okay, well, welcome back to, you thought this was the name of the podcast that I kept saying we don't know what this is. It's not the name of the podcast. We just don't know quite what this is yet. We're still test recording a podcast. It is I, Lucas Zelnick, a comedian, and my mother, Wendy. Mom, welcome to the podcast yet again. Thank you for being here.
My pleasure, Lucas.
So I think what we're going to do is, are you okay, by the way? Is everything all right?
Lucas, thank you for asking. I appreciate your sensitivity.
Yeah.
Yes, I'm feeling well today.
We got your extra hot skim cappuccino.
Yes, you
Cannot order a cappuccino unless you say, so hot. The cappuccino's so hot.
And when I have a martini?
So cold.
Icy cold.
Icy. Yeah. Shake it. I want to see ice chips forming at the top of the martini.
That is correct.
And some poor NYU student who has a dream takes your fucking order and goes back and goes, sorry, looks like we have another cunt at table 7.
Oh, Lucas, you know I don't like the C word. That is revolting.
Well, you've used it. Once you used it. Not once. Just that one time we were in the Caribbean.
Okay, let's move it.
No.
We
should tell this story.
No.
We can't tease them with the story. We can always cut it after.
Oh,
Here's the story that happened. Okay, we have a house in the Caribbean. And as you do, as we all do.
As one does.
As one does. Everyone has a house in the Caribbean. This is just ours.
Uh-huh.
And our house comes with 2 golf carts. You know this. If you're listening, you also have a house with 2 golf carts in the Caribbean, so this should be of no surprise to you. And someone took our golf cart, and they were outside of the lunch place.
Don't forget, the golf carts have your
Villa
room number on the back of it,
Yes.
so you know specifically which is yours and which is not yours.
Yes.
Okay.
And so you went up to this woman and you were like, you took our golf cart. And she was like, oh, did I? And you were like, yeah, do you see it says Villa 2? And she was like, oh, yeah, I did see that. And you were like, okay. What were you thinking when you took the golf cart if you saw that it said Villa 2?
Yeah.
And then she was like, don't be such a bitch. And then you were like, you're a cunt.
Oh, okay.
So anyway.
It devolved quickly, I'm
It
not
did.
going to lie.
And
Yeah.
I was like, it's something about like women over the age of 50. You guys will go at each other in a way that's kind of like you'd expect you to get nicer with age, but that is not how people get. Okay, so
she started it. Okay, please continue.
She started by taking our golf cart.
And then she called me the B word.
Well, but you asked the kind of like really rude rhetorical question. like she was going to give you an answer that made it make sense.
Yeah.
You were like, what were you thinking? As though she was going to be like, I guess I was thinking that Villa 2 was Villa 5.
No, but maybe she was visually impaired and then I was going to bring out all my empathy.
She was driving a golf cart and she was visually impaired.
Yes, and I was going to feel compassion for her.
Right.
But instead, no, that's not what happened.
No. Well, yeah, I think it was kind of the thing where like 2 types of the same person ran into each other at the same time. Because she was like, oh, I had somewhere to be and I wanted a golf cart. And you were like, well, that was my golf cart.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, anybody who wants golf cart advice, probably don't call me.
Yes.
Okay.
Luckily, this first piece of advice that we've got from our listeners.
It's not a piece of advice. It's a query.
This is a query.
Mm-hmm.
And
They're
they want
asking
our
for
advice.
advice.
Yes,
Yeah, exactly.
They're not giving us advice.
Yeah.
Right. Okay, here we go.
Okay.
I met this girl on rock climbing, and she and I became lead partners through Facebook, like looking for a lead partner kind of thing.
Lead partner is like someone who belays you up the wall.
Thank you.
I could see you looked confused.
Mm-hmm.
And I met her last Tuesday, And throughout the week, last week, we hung out a lot. And I felt like we were flirting and it was cute. But it starts to get really intense. She told me all about her going through her parents' divorce and all these things, and like her trying to communicate to her mom about her ex and all these things. And I was kind of like, oh, okay, this is kind of intense. But yeah, she's like kind of bombarding me with a lot of trauma. And then also the other day she texted me and said, just crochet one of your hairs into a granny square with those heart emojis, like the heart-eyed emojis. And it made me uncomfortable and I don't know what to do.
Are you following what happened in this story?
No,
it was a little Gen Z.
Okay. Exactly, and I'm a little not.
So first of all, this woman might even be lesbian.
Oh,
Yes.
That's what's happening?
Yes.
Okay, please continue.
So I just want to let you know that she's thought they were flirting, and when two women flirt, that's allowed now.
Okay.
That's something that people are doing. So anyway, so she meets this girl on Facebook Marketplace. Things seem to escalate quickly, and the last part is that this girl texted her and said, I crocheted one of your hairs, like head hairs, into a granny square, which is like a pot holder.
Okay.
So now she has like some kind of stalker situation.
Okay.
And she's uncomfortable and she doesn't know what to do.
Okay. First thought, definitely do not go rock climbing with this person again, because if you are counting on her to belay you, and she gets pissed off and she drops you, not good. Right?
You're saying don't trust your life in the hands of someone that would put your hair in a trinket.
Correct. That is, I couldn't have summed it up more succinctly. Yes,
Okay.
that is correct.
But how should she communicate this? This might, now that I hear it out loud, it might be slightly more of like a younger generation thing, because I think we feel a lot of anxiety about how to tell people we're not interested. I think especially when it's two women. I would love to use this opportunity to speak for women, but I think I think it's especially when it's two women.
Because you used to be one, didn't you?
Yes, yeah. Here we go. Our first foray into trans stuff. We haven't gotten the opportunity yet. But
Ally.
What? Yes, massive, and so are you. Okay, so what would you say? How should she communicate? Do you think it's as simple as sending this girl a text and saying, "This is moving too quickly"?
Okay, I might say something now that's politically incorrect, so just kick me under the table if I do.
And that's okay. We'll just edit it out later if it's too bad.
Perfect. Why is it relevant? If it's two women, two men, a man and a woman, it's the same situation.
Why would that be politically incorrect?
I'm just saying. I mean, maybe...
Because you're kind of sounding like I don't see color.
Exactly.
I do think...
Why is it relevant that it's two women? I mean, she is telling us that she's a woman and flirting with another woman, but who cares? If it were a woman telling me this story about a man, I'd have the same response.
I'll say this, for starters, letting down a woman in a, like, I'm not interested context is different than letting down a man in an I'm not interested context.
Say more.
I think men, when you reject a man, they're either going to be completely cool about it or they're going to fucking kill you.
Okay.
And when you reject a woman, I do feel, if they're really into you, this is assuming that they're really into you, that you sort of can do no right. Like, I have a friend who broke up with a girl recently that he was, like, not super interested in. But he wasn't sure if he wasn't super interested in her. They went out maybe, like, 5-6 times. And she was kind of like, where do you see this going? And at the time, he was, like, into it, but he wasn't sure how into it. And so he was like, I'm not sure, but I see potential here. But I want to take whatever I'm doing seriously, because the next person I be with, I want to take really seriously.
Do I know this person?
Yes, you know this person.
Can we name names?
We
I know who it is. Okay, please
continue.
continue.
This person's going on vacation with us soon.
Correct.
So he's, in my opinion, from talking to him about this woman, he was definitely not interested in her for a little while. But he thought she was really sweet and great on paper, and here are all these boxes that she checks, and so it's not clear to me that I don't want to be with her. And then it became clear to him that he didn't want to be with her. And so he sent her a text, like a long text, and was like, hey.
Ding, ding, ding. That's already your... Wait, how did you refer to
No,
yourself?
because, see, this is the thing. This is what you guys do.
Yeah.
When
you say you guys, you mean over 50?
All women.
All women.
All women.
Oh, I love this. I can't wait to see where this is going. Yeah.
Basically, he sent her a text. You didn't even wait to hear what the text said.
Because he should have picked up the telephone and called her.
You still haven't waited to hear what the text said.
Please continue.
He said, I will call you, but I don't like it when I get blindsided on a phone call, so I want to let you know this is how I'm feeling, and we should have a phone conversation to talk about it.
Okay.
How do you feel now about the text? A little different, huh?
A little different.
You wish you'd let me speak, huh?
Please continue. So then what happened?
So then she calls him and says exactly what you just said. She's like, you should have fucking called me.
See?
And he's like, but it's the way I would have preferred to be dealt with. So I thought it was courteous that I didn't call you at first. And here we are on the phone. I'm still talking to you. I'm not unwilling to talk to you. I'm just trying to whatever. And then she was like all mad that he didn't tell her.
3 dates ago.
Yes, exactly. Why didn't you tell me when you started to feel this way? And he's like, I didn't know how I felt. And at the time that I said it, you know, I thought I felt the way I felt, and then things changed. And then it became a conversation of like, so when this happened, were you feeling this? And when this happened, were you feeling this? Guys won't do that. Guys will either leave you alone, or they'll show up to your house in the middle of the night,
with
strangle you, pull out all of your hair.
Yep.
Crochet all of that hair into a granny square, and then kill you, and then dismember your body and bury it in a couple different national parks.
Okay.
That's what guys will do.
Okay, so tell me, in your vast experience of 2 men who find themselves in the same situation.
No, now you're making it gay. I don't have any experience in being gay.
That's my point. Let's say there's 2 men.
Well, gay men are much more like
Excuse
women.
me, are you letting me finish?
We can go ahead and... Actually, no. Leave it in. Leave it in. But I didn't mean it.
Oh, exactly.
I take accountability for that joke I made.
You're going to get canceled for that?
No, I won't get canceled for that.
So in your vast experience,
yes,
2 men are dating.
Mm-hmm.
These 2 men have the identical conversation. The man says, where do you see this going? One man says, and the other one says, you know, I really want to think about this. I'm not sure. I think it might be going someplace. Then 6 dates in, the man says to the other man, you know what? First, of course, he texts him to say, I'm about to call you. Mm-hmm. And then he calls him, and then he says it isn't going anywhere.
Yeah.
What's that second man going to be saying? The same thing?
Well, can I just speak to myself as a man?
Please do.
I've been broken up with. Mm-hmm. But it took me a little while to get here. But the most recent time I was broken up with, there were 2 times in like very recent memory that I was either broken up with, or there was someone that I was really interested in that just kind of wasn't as interested.
First time I know. What's the second one?
I don't know that you would know this person because it was very early on, and it wasn't like a bring the issue to my parents.
You didn't call me right away to tell me you met somebody? I really like them. Mommy, what should I do?
I did really like her, but it was before this last one, so I don't know. It was a while back. And I ended up dating the girl, actually.
And you didn't tell me?
No, you knew of the girl. You might have forgotten of the girl. But we dated for a little while. It turned out to be the other way around. We went out on a couple dates. She was not interested. And then like 8 months later,
she changed her mind.
I reached out again because we didn't really whatever, and we didn't really hang out or get to know each other that well the first time. And I was like, hey, do you want to try this one more time? And she was like, sure. And then that second time we ended up kind of dating for a little bit, and then I ended things the second time. But the first time I initiated things. Okay. And now she's dating a woman.
Do you think it was because of her experience with you that made her date a woman?
Honestly, the woman looks a little bit like me. Okay. Not gonna lie. Like a lot.
Okay.
And the woman's a masculine woman.
Okay.
But she goes by she, her pronouns.
Which woman? The one you dated?
No, the one... Well,
she's dating.
The one I dated was not a masculine woman.
Okay.
This woman that I dated is dating was a masculine woman.
And why wouldn't she go by she, her?
Because some masculine women go by they, them, or he, him. Well, no, then they're not women. Okay. How did you just walk me into that? Whatever. Anyway.
Okay, yeah. Go on.
Yeah, I guess they wouldn't be women if they go by they, them. Some women go by she, them and would still consider themselves women.
Okay.
Anyway.
Shit. This is so confusing. Okay, please
No,
continue.
it's not confusing.
It is to me, maybe not to you.
It's not to you either.
Okay. Please continue. Yeah.
So anyway, this woman that I went out with was like emphatic that she was having a great time and she wanted to hang out again. And then we hung out maybe 2-3 times. And then when I was scheduling the 4th hangout, even though the last time we had hung out, she was like, when can I see you again? And this and that. She just didn't want to do it again. It was just clear to me. She kept blowing me off. And I tried to reschedule once or twice because I was confused because I thought she seemed to be into it. Mm-hmm. But then after like the 2nd or 3rd reschedule, I got the memo. Mm-hmm. And I do think it is more of a feminine trait that someone would be like, I want to know what happened. I want to know why you told me that you wanted to see me again if you didn't want to see me again. Whereas in my mind, I was just like, something clearly happened that made this woman not want to see me again. That's evident because she doesn't want to see me again. And even though she told me she did, something changed one way or another, whether it was me, whether it was them, whether it was another person, who cares? The bottom line is we're not going to hang out. So why am I going to call this woman that I've met 2 or 3 times and get some clarity? But that's like kind of what was happening with my friend is this woman wanted clarity on like where things went awry as though he was like through exploring it, going to figure it out and then be like, you know what?
I made a mistake.
Yeah.
I want to marry you.
I love you.
Exactly.
Yeah. So do you understand what I'm saying?
I do, but I think you're making a broad generalization about the female species.
Undoubtedly.
And I think you're wrong.
I disagree with that.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I think in this particular situation that it's possible, and then I'm going to make a broad generalization, it's possible that she was just so into this person, who we won't name, who we're going on vacation with, mm-hmm. That she really wanted to know, maybe did I have, what did I miss? What signals did I miss?
But to what end? Like, that's what I never understand is I think what they really want is comfort, which they're not going to get. Not that they being whoever's doing this, not all women.
Right.
But like this person wanted comfort, which she's not going to get. And she's not actually going to take any learnings into her, this person's like
right.
late 20s, like they know how to date. They're a good looking.
She knows how to date.
Yes.
Are they them?
No, they are.
Then she knows how to date.
Sure.
Okay, yeah.
But I'm just trying to be general. You don't want to be the person correcting my grammar.
I do.
Referring to people as they. No. You don't want to do that anymore. I'm telling you in general, you don't ever. If someone's referring to a person as they, now it's like normal to just do that. Mm-hmm. So don't correct that.
Okay.
I promise I'm helping you.
That won't go well? Okay.
Yes. Please with anyone under the age of 30, that will not go well.
Oh, my God. Okay.
It's not that hard.
It is.
It's not.
It is.
It's not. What do you find hard about it? I don't understand. In the time you've been alive,
yes,
the lexicon has changed 2,000 times.
Yes, but the grammar, the rules of grammar have not changed.
You used to say things were far out.
Yeah.
What is
neato? We said things neato.
Exactly. So what's the problem with referring to they, them?
It just doesn't grammatically connect to.
So it doesn't
the
grammatically.
Modifier
it does now, though, and grammar changes too.
No, it doesn't.
Yeah, grammar changes over the course of time.
Grammar
you think
does
since
not change.
the 1800s of Old English, grammar hasn't changed?
If this was working, we could find out whether grammar changes.
Gabe, would you mind looking up whether grammar changes? I mean, it's the dumbest thing to look up. I know for a fact it does, but sure.
Language changes. Grammar does not.
What is that? It's the worst argument I've ever heard. If language changes and grammar is implicit within language, grammar changes too.
Nope.
According to Google Gemini, grammar rules are not static. They evolve and change over time. One example is the shift in the usage of shall.
Shall.
Of
shall?
Yeah, which is becoming less common. Another change is the increasing acceptance of sentence fragments, particularly spoken and informal writing.
Yes. So writing, for example, in the time that we've been alive, has been allowed to become more informal, and you can have fragment sentences that don't read as grammatically incorrect. So that's one example of grammatic changes.
Are they called fragment sentences?
You're wrong. I don't know why. I don't know why
Well,
you're
I'm doubling
wriggling.
down.
Yeah,
Okay, I'm gonna.
I don't know why
in
you're
our
wriggling
next
on the
podcast,
floor.
I'll be doubling down on it after I'm better educated. Please continue.
What do do you really think grammar has never changed in the history of language? Is that the position you're going to take?
I
that
would
always
say
the
verbs.
I can't believe this argument.
Verbs,
you think
modifiers.
that since language has existed, the grammar of language has never changed.
You know what? I'd like to call a lifeline right now.
Yeah,
I'd like to call
why
my
don't you call
friend.
your trans friend?
I want
Yeah.
to call my Pulitzer Prize winning author friend.
Call
and
her. Call her
she's
in.
Not. She's not. Really, I can
Yeah,
call her
you can call anyone in.
right this minute.
My mother has one of her
Don't
best
name
friends in the
names.
world
Yep.
has well, this podcast isn't even released.
Oh, fair.
Has won a Pulitzer Prize as a biographer, and
Let's see if
I would
she-
like to lead this conversation. By the way, I still haven't given my advice for this young woman, but
Well, I haven't given my advice for this young woman either. We got sidetracked when we were discussing.
no. But listen, let's be
Yeah.
sidetracked. So call her up.
Okay, let's see
Let's
if she
do
can-
this.
Okay, I'm gonna just call her, but she's in Europe.
That's okay.
Let
It's
me
a
see if
normal
she
time
picks
in
up.
Europe right now.
Okay, let me see if she picks up. Okay,
Here, let me hold it.
I don't know if she's gonna pick up.
That's
Hi.
hi. It didn't even ring. It's Lucas.
Hi, Lucas.
How are you? So
I'm fine. Are we taping yet?
Yes,
we
we
are. We're
right
in
now.
the middle of a podcast episode. So
And I called a lifeline. You're my lifeline.
we have not used your name, but if you're fine with us using your name, why don't you wait till the question we're going to ask you, and then we can decide if we're going to use your name. But all we've said is that you're a Pulitzer Prize winning author. Can you confirm this fact, please?
And that fact is true.
Okay. So we were talking about they them pronouns. This is why we weren't sure whether we wanted to use your name. And my point in support of your generation just getting on board with pronouns is language changes all the time.
Grammar, not
No.
language.
I said language changes all the time.
Right.
And then Wendy was like, well, grammar doesn't change. Grammar, and this is what she said. This is legitimately what she said. Grammar has never changed, ever. Now, feels like a softball for you. Since the advent of language, has grammar ever changed?
Is my relationship with either of you at stake if I answer?
No.
You sure?
Yes.
Okay. So, of course, grammar has evolved. However, I mean, something like ain't was considered perfectly acceptable English until it was considered ungrammatical, right? And it might be making its way back anytime soon. So who knows? So all kinds of grammar changes. But in this case, I think what your incredibly grammatically minded mother is discussing is the fact that subject and verb fail to have trouble agreeing when we go pronoun neutral, right?
Sure.
Because then you have to say they. Because then you have to say they is, right?
No, you don't. You say they are. That's what you say.
They are, but you
Yeah.
end up in this like weird pronounal, neverland, and I think that's where wilderness, and I think that's where I'm just guessing that that's what your mother's stumbling over, but I could be wrong about that. When?
No, she's stumbling over that. But then my question for you is, can it not just be the case that when it comes to they, them pronouns, we adjust the subject to agree with the plural and then just keep on living our lives? So when you say they are going over there, you don't have to say they is. You just make those agree.
Then it becomes a little less grating to the ear, but you still end up in these weird, you still end up in sort of awkward situations. It reminds me of when Ms. was first invented and like people couldn't get their minds around it, right? Because like how did you work Ms. into a sentence, and how did you, where did you use it and
Ms.?
stuff?
He's never even heard of Ms.
Right, like Ms. as a person who's
Not a
who's
Mrs.
whose
or
marital
Miss.
identity
Oh,
you're trying to-
Ms. I thought you were talking about Ms. like something's miserable. Like, oh, it's Ms.
Like the show, right?
Yes.
That thing no, I was talking about. So in other words, it's partly a matter of accommodating it in a way that doesn't offend the grammar, is what we're saying, right?
But we're not entering some kind of grammatical slippery slope where we'll never remember how to make a verb agree with a.
You stopped when you've been reading a paragraph because it seemed to you as if the grammar was kind of clunky or just like jagged.
Yes.
It wasn't agreeing. So I think that's where your mother's stumbling.
Thank you.
Right, but
Not about the identity issue, right?
Correct.
Not about the sensitivity around the identity issue, but about the offense to the English language.
Thank you.
well, I never even realized that the English language was an oppressed group. So that is.
English language is an endangered species, and your mother is fighting the good fight. Okay.
Okay, but just to be clear, grammar changes, and it's changing now, and
change.
people can understand a change in grammar and then go back to the new lexicon.
But let's be honest. Will we go down that road, or will we end up retreating? For example, where are we with black right now? Right now, you have people saying African American is a ridiculous way of putting it.
Sure.
Just to take you down another more sensitive channel here, because I know we're trying to offend the greatest number of people. So, I mean,
I don't know if people say African American is ridiculous, but they say there's nothing wrong with calling someone black. Yes.
It's just like any other fad. How do we refer to people? Just like we go through fads in language where we suddenly say, wait, that was ridiculous that they went to all that extent to try to accommodate, right? So the question will be, on this one, do we end up retreating to something that feels more familiar, or do we end up seeing the language evolve?
Okay, well, my view on that is if you're non-binary and you ask me to say they are doing this, which I don't know if black people were ever asking us to call them African American. If they were, I'd have abided. I love black people. But in the case of non-binary people, they are saying, please say they are. I'm happy to do that because the offense to the English language is not so great that I can't.
Right. But you have to admit it can get convoluted in a sentence on the page.
I don't find it convoluted.
On the page. On the page.
I don't find it convoluted. Our generation is using it so frequently that we don't find it convoluted.
Now,
well, there you go.
I heard you use the word fad, and I wasn't sure if you were implying
that non-binary people are a fad.
Exactly.
No, I'm saying that we've gone through several evolutions in language. For example, what is the sensitive way to refer to someone who's black? Are they African? Are they African American? Are they black small B? Are they black uppercase B? Where are we going with these things?
She's saying that the terminology to refer to someone's identity might be a fad, but the person's identity is no fad.
Thank you. I was not referring to the cultural phenomenon. I was referring to the grammatical means of expressing it in the most sensitive possible manner.
Okay.
Well, on
I'm
that
glad
note,
I called you.
I'm here for your next lifeline call. Okay?
Yes, this is our grammar consultant. She goes by the name of We Won't Mention It. Thank you very much.
Love you guys.
Love you.
Can't wait to hear this.
Bye.
Okay. First of all, I should have known better than to call your cadre of women your age. But she still proved my point.
What, did you? That's what you took away from it? That you were right and I was wrong?
Grammar changes.
Oh my!
It was
God.
a simple question. No?
I think we're going to have to discuss this offline.
Okay, so give your advice to this young lady.
So we got back to why is it relevant that it's a woman as opposed to a man? That's where we got sidetracked. And I don't think it's relevant that it's a woman.
Okay.
And it sounds to me like it could be a bunny boiler. I'm not sure. Is that reference?
No, I don't know what a bunny boiler is.
Oh, my God.
The last 2 episodes, she did like 5 references of like 50s. She was like, you're like Judy Hartman and Baby's All Right. It's like, oh God.
Okay, for all those who have not
You're
seen
a complete buddy boiler, old
the
pal.
iconic movie Fatal Attraction with Glenn Close and Michael Douglas, where Michael Douglas is having an affair and with a woman who's Glenn Close. And he, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, basically says, it's over. I'm going back to my wife and my kids. And she is not having any of it.
Yeah.
And she turns into a stalker.
Okay.
And not to spoiler
Helpful
alert.
term, actually, for the situation we're in.
Exactly. Yes. Spoiler alert. He comes home one day to find his child's pet bunny boiling on a pot
yeah.
on the stove.
Okay.
Hence the reference to bunny boiler.
Okay.
So it's possible this woman's a bunny boiler.
Yes.
She clearly, to make a generalization, she clearly dove in too fast, too much, gave away too much. It's like that old cliche that my cousin used to say to me, 2 gay women, after the first date, they move in together with their cat.
Yeah. It's called U-hauling.
There you go.
Yeah.
So it sounds like the bunny boiler may also have been a U-hauler.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so I think the woman who called should just say, this is just moving a little too fast for me. And let's, step back a little bit. It doesn't, after 1 week, it's not as though it's a huge.
Well, yeah, I guess. Okay. So you think maybe it's a text, or do you think it's a call?
Oh, we're back to that.
Yeah.
I think she should pick up the phone. I always think you should pick up the phone and call.
And say, maybe we should take a step back.
Yeah, I really like you. I'm not sure where this is going. Don't belay me in the future. And
let's climb separately.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Let's take this to separate
Separately but equally.
Yeah.
Climb.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I would do.
Okay. I would send her a text.
Mm-hmm.
I
Of course
actually
you would.
I'd blow her off for like a few days, maybe like 1 or 2 hangs, and see if it
Is
feels
she
like
bunny boils?
she gets the message immediately just
Mm-hmm.
off of that, because it's nice that you guys were flirting. Nothing happened. You didn't even hook up or anything. At least you didn't say that you did. So you don't really owe her anything at all. So I would say slow things down, maybe be slower to respond. Maybe don't hang out with her next time she asks to hang out. Maybe do that again. And then if it feels like she still hasn't gotten the message, then I would send her a text and be like, hey, just wanted to let you know that, I think we should, whatever.
Okay.
Some version of what you said.
So here's what I would say. Clearly, this is a woman who's had a lot of trauma in her life. She's
She
already.
had a lot of trauma, but this is not our fans' problem.
No, it's not her problem, but to be sensitive to the fact that this is a human being who may be a little fragile.
Sure.
And what's the harm in just picking up the phone and saying, hey, you know what? Too fast, too much. Why ghost her? I just don't understand the concept of ghosting. It's cruel and unkind.
No, I'm not talking about ghosting is like straight up just not responding anymore, which I think
not
is
responding
cruel.
for 2 days is kind of the same for the woman.
I think you're sending, like, if you slow down the responses and you slow down the hangout time and you blow them off a little bit, you're sending the message subtly. But here's the thing. This is actually what I was going to say. Is this was back to my point about how you can't win. Is I have tried every which way to end things with, like, early on with someone that I've been seeing that I'm not that interested in, and you truly can't win, because I used to ghost people and that's like a big no-no, so I stopped doing that. But then I would send people like a thoughtful text, maybe after like 2 or 3 times, where I'm like, hey, I had such a good time getting to know you.
But I'm moving to New Zealand, and I'll call you when I get home.
No, I'd be like, oh, this was great, but whatever. And I would be as earnest as possible and as honest as possible,
right?
Without just saying I'm not attracted to you or I didn't enjoy the way that you talk or whatever I felt.
I'm gay. I'm seeing somebody.
Yes,
I'm
I'm
living
gay.
with somebody. Yeah.
And every time I say I'm gay, they say I had a feeling. No, but then when I started sending like a nice earnest text,
Mm-hmm.
I got so many women being like, hey, it's not that deep. We only hung out 2 times. And it's like you can never win, because you try to do the right thing and they're like, you're a loser. Why are you sending me a whole text? And then you do, you stop responding and they're like, what the fuck? You're a douchebag.
Right.
But it's hard to like nail the breakup. I do find that women in general, which are the only ones I've dated, tend
So far,
that's
Yeah.
true, life is long,
Yeah.
tend to villainize the person that is ending things with them more so than I think men do.
One, I just don't know that I'm going for that generalization, but put that to the side for a moment. I think at the end of the day, it's about you doing the right thing for you in a way that feels kind and thoughtful. So even if they respond by saying, what the fuck, we only dated twice, you still did something that was nice.
Well, let me ask you this.
Mm-hmm.
When you were dating before Dad,
Mm-hmm.
were you a blower offer? I would imagine you ended things with more people than ended things with you. Is that correct?
Yes, that is correct.
But you did get things ended upon you at certain times? In any case, thank you guys for joining us today. Thank you for listening. Mom, anything you want to plug? I've been asking her every episode if there's anything.
One of these times I'm going to actually come up with something.
Yes. Don't do a charity because that's like too earnest. You
Oh.
you have to plug something about yourself, like you're going on tour. You're gonna go to the Morristown, New Jersey Bananas or something. All right. Thank you guys for listening. Goodbye.
Bye.